Gwynblade.
Farewell.
Gwynblade.
Why do you hate humans so much, Yavin?
Why? I assume you don't mean ideology and the like, and you would rather hear some dark secret from deep within my soul.
You assume correctly.
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
Agreed.
I once lived in a city among humans. I was honest and courteous, respected all their ridiculous customs and laws. Assimilation. I lived that word for years, and during that time I was cheated, sneered at, on occasion beaten and robbed. I felt no hatred for humans. In fact, I felt better than them. I told myself they were simply incapable of controlling their weaknesses, their flaws. I was robbed 3 times as often as others. Racist slogans were painted on my door in excrement. For years I wondered why. Was I doing something wrong? What could I do to bring peace to my life? And you know what I came to understand?
No, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
I was doing nothing wrong. I'd been lying to myself from the outset. Just as the moon will never catch the sun, so humans will never change. They will remain egotistical, envious, petty and fearful of anything they don't understand. And believe me, there's plenty. Matters proceeded quickly thereafter, but that's another story.
Now you resemble humans.
No, Geralt, definitely not. And you, Witcher? Who are you? You too have experienced human ignorance and hatred.
But I feel no contempt for them. I don't look down on them, and I don't generalize. Humans are how they are, and I'll make no effort to change or fight them. I'll adapt. Evolution, Yavin.
Evolution makes no allowance for sterile mutants. No offense. Think about it, Geralt.
Have any jobs for me?
I have a mission for you. One not entirely related to the struggle for freedom.
Yavin, cut to the chase.
We have learned that the ruins of an elven temple have been found in the sewers beneath Vizima. Not surprising, given the city was erected on elven foundations. We think Lara Dora may have been there, and may have left something behind.
Who?
You will learn everything if you agree to help. I sent a unit there, but I fear something has gone wrong. I need you to find out what happened.
I'll see what I can do.
Wonderful.
I'd be interested to hear about Lara.
Lara Doran, Ep Sheerdal was an elven sorceress, an N7, a knowing one. She carried Hen Ikir, elder blood, which puzzles even us elves. As fate would have it, Lara fell in love with a human sorcerer, Cregennan of Lod. Other humans could not bear it, and began persecuting them. They became outcasts, shunned by all around them. No pleas would soften the stone hearts of the cruel and merciless Dwan. When Lara, begging mercy not for her but for her unborn child, grabbed the door of the royal carriage, at the king's behest a man-at-arms lashed out with his cutlass, severing her fingers. She fled the city, sought shelter in a forest. When night descended and the frosts came, Lara faded on a hill amidst the trees. She gave birth to a daughter whom she protected with what warmth remained in her waning body. Though a blizzard raged through the night, spring suddenly appeared on that hill, and Fenawed bloomed. Now those flowers grow only in Dol Blathanna, and where Lara breathed her last. You must understand the importance of any artifacts. She was exceptional, someone whose loss defies words no matter what the language.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you with your elves?
The Druid's Grove acts as a sanctuary where I can quietly think, lay plans. My going to Vizima presents an unnecessary risk. Part of the unit inside Vizima is accomplishing plenty.
If you're Salamandra's enemy, I may have an offer for you.
They're Dwan too, and more trouble than most. Speak.
I have powerful friends who know how to destroy that organization.
I have bigger problems than Salamandra.
What can I do to convince you?
Finish what I first requested, then we'll talk.
Inwed streda kebu en kerme. Inwed streda kebu en kerme. Time to pray.
When will this end?
Who the hell are you? Didn't I see you speaking to Yavin at the camp?
Yavin sent me to see what happened to you.
A witcher. We're lucky you came.
Meaning?
We're after elven artifacts. Got into the temple, but once there, I felt a terrible cold and heard a cry. One of my people exploded. Then some thing attacked another of my companions. Only those you see here survived. Slay that thing, whatever it is. You'll be generously rewarded.
I'll try.
We can take it.
Perhaps the Witcher can manage it.
We can take it. Witcher, you alive?
That was worth more than you can imagine.
Yavin will pay your price.
Interesting. We found nothing.
Thanks, and farewell.
Kedmil, thank you for your help, Wolf.
My payment?
300 orens. And forget what you saw, Dwan. Gwynblade.
Why do you hate humans so much, Yavin?
Why? I assume you don't mean ideology and the like, and you would rather hear some dark secret from deep within my soul.
You assume correctly.
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
I'll pass.
Typical. You wish to take without giving. Your choice.
Farewell.
Master Richard!
What, boy?
The bank's been robbed! Master Velerad said we should fetch a witcher!
What's going on?
Follow me, Master Geralt! Quickly!
Why couldn't rain be made of rain? I'm sleepy. Damn, it's hot in this thing. I heard they're planning to negotiate. Stay back! The Scoia'tael are robbing the bank!
What's happening?
Armed robbers have taken over the bank and are holding hostages. Siegfried's leading the assault.
Always the hero.
Geralt, they need support. Freedom fighters? Stay back.
Is there another way in?
I wouldn't advise a frontal assault.
Velerad, hurry.
Perhaps you can enter through the warehouse connection.
Warehouse?
A pedestrian overpass links it to the town hall. It's unused, but I have a key.
Unused?
The women who work at the town hall speak of ghosts.
Give me the key.
My family's treasures are in that bag.
a stench. Oh my...
Damn all these officials.
Blooded one!
In 3 hours they're...
No one move! This is a robbery!
Wish to negotiate, Dwan?
Yes.
Find Yavin inside the vault in the bank's cellar.
No one move! Blooded one!
What are you doing here?
I'm here to negotiate.
I'm no good at negotiating.
Meaning?
Yavin's downstairs.
You shall die,
I shall
human
negotiate.
Dwan!
When will this end?
Ellerin. You know the story of Ellerin, Witcher?
No. But I think we have more important things to think about.
The White Rose of Sherwood, known to dwarves and humans as Ellerin. 2 centuries ago she led the elven youth into battle. Our elders were against it, knowing that success was out of reach, knowing they might not recover from defeat.
Yavin, the knights are preparing to attack.
Ellerin, the White Rose. She roused the youths to battle. They grabbed their arms and followed her into their last desperate fight. They were massacred, mercilessly.
Yavin, the bank is surrounded.
They died saying her name, repeating her call, her cry. They died for Sherwood and for Ellerin, just as she had promised, with dignity, heroically, with honor.
Were you there?
Have you made your decision?
What decision?
You can't straddle a fence forever, especially if that fence runs through the middle of a battle.
Are you trying to recruit me?
No. With your conscience, you're hardly suited to be a revolutionary.
So?
I had a reason for telling you about Ellerin. There's a war on Geralt, a war for survival, for freedom. You don't have to be one of us to help us. Many serve our cause as best they can, and you're best at slaying monsters.
I won't be dragged into a war between the Scoia'tael and the Order. I'm a Witcher. Neutral is all hell.
You're a fool, Witcher. It's too late for neutrality. Stand with me now or forever be my foe.
Don't expect me to tag on a squirrel tail and dive headlong into battle. I'll help you the Witcher's way.
I expect nothing more. Sorry, no time to celebrate. We're stuck here because of monsters.
What monsters?
Our mission was to find documents that would allow Vivaldi to recover his bank. Only right, wouldn't you say? Yet we find ourselves trapped. Kikimore's blocking our escape. We plan to flee through the sewers.
I'll see what I can do.
Go, White Wolf. Look out! The Kikimores are everywhere.
Strange. Kikimore's outside their nest.
Something's not right here, Witcher.
I'll clear the passage.
Maggot must die. Problem solved. That little foray was impressive.
All in a day's work. I hope my help doesn't go to waste.
I'll get the documents to Vivaldi. Maybe he can take the bank back.
Your chance to return the favor, if you're an enemy of Salamandra.
They're also Dwan, but they bother me more than most. What's your offer?
I have powerful friends who see a way to destroy that organization.
I can't say I'm keen to see that happen. But since you helped me...
Does that mean you'll meet with them?
When and where, Wolf?
At a tavern in the trade quarter, the new Nera Court.
Vizima is heavily guarded. But for you, I'll find a way. See you there, Wolf.
It'll be worth your time, I assure you.
Speak, then get out of my sight.
Listen, I've found us some allies.
Great. In time for our meeting with Luvarden. We'll discuss it with him.
Agreed.
Geralt, you should know we've angered some powerful people. This meeting could change much.
What do you mean?
Tend to any unfinished business in Vizima, and prepare. Afterwards, it may be too late.
I'm ready. Let's meet at the new Naracourt.
I'll inform the interested parties.
How do you know who?
I'm a sorceress, remember? And you think so loud, I can't help reading your mind.
You're in danger.
What? Why?
The militia learned of your meetings. Salamandra has spies in the army. You must flee.
No, I won't. I must speak to the others.
The Salamanders will be here soon.
Then I'll face them. You run.
You must think poorly of me if you believe I'd let you face them alone. I expected you'd stay and fight. My people are ready. They volunteered.
Don't get yourself killed. If anything should happen to you, Carmen
will understand.
City guards? How did you...
You're not the only ones with informers in the army.
Vincent, siding with the Witcher was foolish. You don't stand a chance.
We'll see.
You challenge
Where's Gar...
You finally arrive, Wolf.
Greetings.
We were waiting.
Decided anything?
Yavin has decided to cooperate.
Under certain conditions, Dwan.
We'll deal with those conditions later. Everything's ready.
Ready for what?
Teleportation, Wolf. Thanks to the stone you commandeered.
Triss will teleport you and Yavin to the Salamander base, where you'll open the gate.
When?
That's the final point we need to decide. Quiet. I hear footsteps.
The door is locked.
Open up! In the name of King Foltest and the Flaming Rose!
It's DeWitt.
I didn't foresee this.
We know about your illegal gathering with the elf. Open up, or you will hang!
Sorceress, teleport us now. My unit is ready.
Are you crazy?
He's right, Geralt. This may be our only chance. Akimbaga Hara.
I once saw a mage who emerged from a teleport without his legs. They arrived 5 seconds later.
On 3, we break the door down!
Maybe there's another way.
Dakambra der Hadrin.
Where the hell am I? Triss overdid it this time. Better here than the middle of some banquet.
It's the Witcher! You dare challenge the Salamandra! I'll rip your gut open!
Die, shit-eater!
Gwynblade, we have no time to lose.
Yavin, you're here after all.
There's no time. Open the portal and let my unit in.
Where's Triss?
She stayed behind to deal with that lunatic DeWitt, but she cast Alzur's shield before teleporting you.
Alzur's shield?
A powerful spell from the book you found in the swamp.
Strange. I don't recall giving it to her.
Gwynblade, my brothers in arms await. Would you take on the entire Salamandra base yourself?
Any ideas?
The Salamanders enter their base through a magic portal created years ago by my kin.
Can we use it?
Triss claims it can be activated using a power stone. Luckily there's one there on the right. Unfortunately, it's guarded by a mage.
White Wolf, we've been expecting you.
I see we're all here. Good. We can resolve this.
Ha, I underestimated you in the swamp, but you won't surprise me now. You go after your goal no matter what. The elves you brought are doomed to die.
Don't think so.
The elven race is condemned. Humans only accelerate the inevitable. If you demonstrate wisdom, you'll see the grand plan.
And if I refuse?
Nothing will change except we'll have one Witcher less. The grand plan foresees all possible resolutions. Join us, or stop being an obstacle.
Spit it out.
You're fighting for a cause in the name of vague principles. You're in a labyrinth of other people's schemes. You don't know the grand plan. The country is ruled by a degenerate monarch who allowed his monstrous daughter to murder citizens for years. Furthermore, during the war, he allowed Nilfgaard to plunder and torch neighboring allied kingdoms.
Wrap it up.
If not Foltest, then who? The Lodge of the Sorceresses? You know not what those bitches do to influence post-war treaties, the resettlements, deportations, the unresolved matter of the Scoia'tael, and others.
Your dazzling conclusion?
Salamandra is not evil, not more than those with the will to shape their own fate.
If Salamandra is not evil incarnate, then what of Javed? Immorality, rape, murder, treason. What do you call this creature?
The future, evolution, or destiny?
Screw that future. I'd rather fight a nightmare even if it's hopeless. Though this time, it isn't.
You won't surprise me this time. Now, die!
Javed crumbled in the swamp. He could easily have destroyed me and made off with the spellbook. He lost it. Flight. Alzur's shield worked beautifully. Javed ran, leaving the professor behind. I won't let him escape next time.
Geralt, are you alright?
Gavin, what happened?
You took a mighty blow. The spell must have protected you.
Alzur's shield.
The professor escaped, and that barrier blocks our path.
Leave this to me.
Die, shit-eater! I'll kill you!
No doubt your life will end soon, and how useless it's been. You'll die knowing you're an aberration.
You're so full of shit, Professor.
Why do you seek to prevent the creation of new witches? The answer's simple. You feel you have no rightful place in this world. You owe your existence to the conjunction of spheres. But your creators erred. Know how?
Enlighten me.
They failed to strip you of emotion. You were meant to slay monsters without making judgments, philosophizing, or nursing doubts. You're ineffective.
Well, this ineffective, doubt-ridden historical freak is about to kill you. Let's dance.
You've triumphed. Go ahead. Your invaluable witch's treasure awaits. You have what you wanted. Show mercy. Never hurts to ask. So you can parry arrows in flight.
Supports. I could try toppling them to block the passage.